Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Aries, thank you so much for being here. Also, sweetie, so good to see you again. All right, so we're going to jump on into a specific message. I don't know if this will be a love message or not, but um, I was picturing, and I don't know whose hands they are, but I was picturing in my mind's eye somebody who is either like they bite their fingernails or they rip at them or keep them really, really like torn down. Like even the cuticles in my mind's eye were like really like dry and kind of white, like there's like abrasions or something. It didn't look like somebody who trimmed their fingernails. It looked like somebody who like aggressively very clean, like what little bit of nail there was, but really kind of like not from hard work or something, but like a maybe even a nervous habit, possibly. So let's just see. I don't know if that is our character, or if this is going to be a story about somebody related to that character. We have a Two of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Wands. Okay, so first off, we got somebody with active dream state. They may have dreams that are almost sci-fi-esque. We see the jellyfish floating through the sky. Somebody could have seen an aquarium at some point in their life, and that stayed in their mind. Maybe they've had dreams about that often. And bizarrely, because jellyfish can be, well, they are very ancient creatures, this person could have like a jellyfish is like a spirit animal, whether or not they know it. That might have been why they were so drawn to it at some point in time. That might be why it features in dreams. That might be something that they look up in the sky and they're like, oh, look at that. It looks like a jellyfish. Other people are like, I don't see the cloud formation, but they may spot that shape here and there. And it may be because that is their spirit guide, not a bird. Where, we think, oh, it's going to be tigers, it's going to be, birds, it's going to be, a spirit guide has to be like a furred or feathered animal. No, maybe it's a jellyfish for this person. There's some kind of either message that is trying to come through because our character is at a phase in their life where they're kind of juggling things. Now, this could be a feminine, but she could be out of phase in her life where she doesn't know how she's going to make something work. She could be trying to stretch a dollar too thin. She may be trying to figure out, how can I pay two things with, $1 bill? How do I do this? It feels like she comes up with a lot of good ideas if it's a her. She does come up with a lot of good ideas. And she tries her best to make ideas bear fruit. We see all of these carrots. I don't know if this person has a horse or a donkey or some creature that likes carrots, but she may tend to keep, it doesn't have to be that either. She may eat a lot of carrots, but she may tend to keep like snackies on her person for creatures that she's going to see. Like I could picture this being somebody who, keeps birdseed in her pockets for birds she may see in the park, or, whatever, some kind of treats or snackies, to give to pets or something like that. She may just naturally do that. But I'm looking at it more as like, the carrot that we dangle to get something to hopefully work out in our favor. It comes across like we may have this divine feminine who is trying all the time to get through some kind of obstacle. It seems like it's just kind of her and her ideas and her best efforts. I don't know that she has somebody else to rely on, because it seems like it's just her all the time. She may have several side hustles. She may be trying to make ends meet, trying to make money come together. And I feel like I'll say this, she may be really good at, like how they say, like tighten up your belt, when times get lean. You get thin because you're not eating enough and you tighten up your belt. She may be a master at that. She knows how to trim the fat, how to tighten up her belt, how to make a little bit go a long way. Yes, I know. I'm hearing the J-Lo track right now too, and how to make a little. Now I have a lot, something about everywhere I go, I know where I came from, but there's something here about like, maybe she likes J-Lo. But this could be somebody who's saying that she's kind of like come up from not a whole lot of like leg up in her life. And yet here she is still, trying to problem solve, trying to make the best out of something. We have an Eight of Wands. She's freaking brilliant. This is somebody who's got a ton of ideas. I do think with the Six of Cups coming out also, in the midst of all this, I think not only does she want, need, but she also deserves a partner, somebody to have her back, somebody to build and grow with her. She may be at a point in her life where she'd really like that. She may recently have just met somebody, just started talking to somebody. And I'm not saying that she can't, figure it out on her own and make her own money and get her own, stuff squared away. But if she has consistently had to work 7 times harder than most people to make ends meet, imagine what an incredible support system it might feel like just to have somebody who like cares about her struggles or shares her struggles or has her back or joins forces with her. That would be 2 people, putting effort into making something work. Now, I feel like this is a potential love partner on the horizon coming in for her. Somebody she maybe has just started talking to, somebody who seems like he's going to be making a move in her direction. I think she's too busy doing other stuff. I think she's too busy right now. And that could be why we have the the jellyfish here behind her. It's like maybe she needs to pause and turn around and notice that there's, like the message is trying to come in for her. That, we've got the universe or her guides are trying to tell her, hey, turn around and pay attention. This is somebody who could just kind of vaguely float through her life and she doesn't notice them because it could be on a work day. It could be a day when she's running from one job to the next, or she's just got a lot going on, a lot on her mind. I keep feeling like she's a hustler. She has to hustle, but somebody is interested in her. Somebody that could be a real soulmate, but she's going to have to recognize them. They could live at like unit 6, flat number 6, apartment number 6. We do have kind of like they could be past life soulmates for sure. They could have like an easy friendship to start out with. This could be her next door neighbor. They could live in number 6, or 6 could be something associated with like the number on their door, or something to do with, maybe she meets him on February the 6th. This is awful pink. It feels like Valentine's Day, even though, Valentine's Day is until the 14th, but there could be something about like meeting them in February, or they're thinking about, man, he could be, by the way, it could be a him. He could be very, very pale skinned and red haired. Whether or not that's her type doesn't matter. It just comes across like, if we're looking at physical attributes, he does have red hair there. This, I was going to say, kind of gives a tip of the hat to Old England, but maybe anywhere in the UK bloc, maybe Scotland, maybe Ireland, with that red hair, possibly. This could be somebody that she knew from a long time ago, several lifetimes ago. Maybe that's the other reason we got that jellyfish and the message coming in from above. She's supposed to gain some kind of wisdom that she's missing out on. We still have to go back to that because we missed out on something here. But there's already a lot. She's got a busy, busy life. And I do feel like it's probably her who, rubs at those fingernails, clips them down, or nervously bites them, or just when she's thinking. It doesn't have to be nervous. But it could also be because she is working really hard. She could work with her hands or something. But this feels like, while she's so busy being distracted, we have a romantic partner that might be showing up in her life. But it might be a bit of a surprise to her. She may meet him on a day where she may or may not look her best. I'm picturing if this is like somebody who lives in her building, lives across from her, lives someplace nearby. That's when we're most vulnerable, right? We step out on our porch in, our robe, or, step out with a towel over our hair or something like that, or a hair wrap or something. She may be seeing this person first, or even when they really reach out to try to have a conversation with her, when she's like, I'm not dressed for this. I'm in my bathrobe with a towel on my hair and you're knocking on my door. I doubt it's going to be at 6 a.m. Maybe it's at 6 p.m. Maybe that's a time, but it just comes across like she may not really love hearing from this person at the time that they reach out. They may have to, they may think that she's freaking adorable, because she might be like not too happy that somebody is trying to talk to her during a moment when she's like, I'm sorry, I've had a really rough day. I have a lot going on. I'm not dressed for company. Why are you trying to catch my attention now. I mean, seriously, universe, could it be a worse time? The universe is like, look, I tried to tell you. I tried to send the jellyfish through the sky to make you notice this. It almost feels like she's going to be annoyed at the time that this person reaches out to her somehow. By the way, somebody could have a lot of teeth, great teeth, a smile that's really toothy. But I almost feel like she may be a little bit abrupt with whomever this person is. Let me go back over here. Universe, is there another message that her guides are trying to send her that she may not be paying close attention to? By the way, she may have really lovely skin. Whatever shade of skin she has may just be very I don't know, like particularly either she's got like that glass skin, really flawless skin, or she has just the right way to like dress so it really sets off her skin tone, you know. She may be really color sensitive, you know. Like when you say that, oh, I'm an autumn or you're a summer, you know, when you do like the color palette to figure out what skin tone you have, so then you can figure out what color tones work best on you, and it makes you look like you really pop, makes you look like your features show up a little bit more. She may be like really naturally attuned to that and know what colors work on her. Pale, 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 like almost eggshell blue and baby blue and soft pinks might look really good on her. We have the Emperor. So the message that the guides are trying to get to her is like the Emperor has landed. There is somebody in her vicinity. Also, remember, it seems like she's a hustler. She's trying to make her dollar stretch. She's busy taking care of business. And it's like she could be missing a really amazing opportunity that maybe instead of working for other people, she's supposed to step up and like take charge of something herself. Even if it's like a side hustle where she gets to kind of set her own hours, but this is Emperor energy. It's either that maybe she's doing too much in too many different directions, set her sights on one thing, the thing that she has most autonomy over, and then do that. And then really like set her own prices, charge her own things. So if she has like a skill or a talent that's a side hustle, but she's scattering herself too thin. And so she doesn't really have time to go out and create her own client base, where then she'd have her own tax write-offs and she'd set her own prices and she'd set her own hours. She might benefit from a side hustle that she's more in control of, instead of trying to do 6 different side hustles for other people that she's earning, peanuts from. That's one side note on this for this character. But the other side note is the universe could be saying this is the time of the Emperor, and there could be an Emperor right there in her general vicinity that she's not noticing yet. Somebody who notices her. That's fine though, because would rather, when she's so busy with stuff, it'd be better if somebody like moves toward her instead of her having to, stop everything, drop everything, and, start pursuing love. Because I feel like she has way bigger things to concern herself with right now. If somebody wants to enter into her life, I think they're going to have to pursue her, is what this looks like. Okay, actually, hang on. Let me stick with this deck for a second. Universe, what about this person who wants to talk to her? Ooh, Hermit. She has not talked to anybody in a long time. She has, by the way, somebody could like be thinking about shaving their legs or something, like, oh man, my legs are as long as a person's beard right now. Just as a side note, sometimes like when we're busy with other stuff, we're not dating anybody, we're not talking to anybody. Sometimes, personal grooming habits go by the wayside or something. But that's just another side note there, because the beard really stands out to me. But I kind of feel like she could be a little bit rusty on dating. Like she hasn't done flirtatious conversation, which might explain why she could be a little bit abrupt. We've got that 8 of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, she doesn't seem to want to talk to anybody. She's had a pretty significant heartbreak, especially if she's like, why is somebody trying to talk to me on whatever, February the 6th? Oh, they just want a freaking Valentine. You know what? Screw Valentine, screw all of it. It's Singles Awareness Day as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, not interested. Like she may literally not be very open to somebody asking her, hey, do you have a Valentine? Would you like to go out with me? She thinks that that's probably what somebody's up to, and it's just going to be a one-hit wonder, somebody who just doesn't want to spend Valentine's Day alone. I'm sorry, but this is a straight up Valentine's Day card. I did not expect to be talking about Valentine's in this at all, but that's what we got. And I just feel like this this message is saying she's kind of said, I don't care about love. Don't you get it? I have other fish to fry. I have money to make. I have bills to pay. I have, a life to move forward. And I'm the only one doing all this. So screw it, because I didn't get much success when it came to love last time around. I do think she's been single and solo and not really talking to anybody because she's been nursing a wounded heart for a while, is what the universe says. With that in mind, speaking of attire and personal grooming and such, she once upon a time might have had a love for like choker necklaces and really ornate clothing and really great taste in, I mean, she could have worked in like the beauty and fashion industry also, or worked in an industry where it was like always dressed to the nines, or she always dressed really, really well for a partner. The thing is, she's still stunningly attractive. This person naturally knows what looks good on her. And I'm kind of picturing that somebody who, like, either some of her features have kind of changed. Sometimes we become more gaunt. Sometimes we add on a little bit of weight when we've been heartbroken, and it changes our features. And bizarrely, she actually looks even better now, having been wounded. So she may not think it, but like certain attributes could be, her eyes could be more luminous, even if it's from crying. She may be somebody who has really noticeable eyes, but during a time where she's had some real sorrow that she's worked through, she may not know it, but some things are more highlighted on her. Some of her facial features, some of her expressions, some of just the physical attributes of her are actually more attractive now than they were before. And she probably would be the last to know. We have a page of coins. Yeah. She's a head turner. I think she has some kind of either ethereal beauty or unusual beauty or something. She could have like really remarkable cheekbones, a really nice, profile or something like that. But I feel like specifically her face is quite stunning. I feel like people find her to be like unusually beautiful and literally unusual. I know, again, it's very specific, but that's what this storyline is. She may be unusually beautiful, like one of those faces that it's like, wow, I can't forget that face. That is, somebody who's like hauntingly lovely. And it part of it could be like the vibe that she gives off, the aura that she gives off. There is an element of, I'm distracted. I don't have time for this. And she's kind of been living in her internal world for a while, been a little bit more serious lately. And I kind of think that this seriousness or severity, or even like the aura that she exudes, which is a little bit like, don't F with me, don't come toward me, I'm busy, and anyway, I don't need any more heartbreaks. That energy has a really strong allure for whomever our red-haired person is. I know here it's more like a russet brownie red, but whomever this, they could have green eyes, by the way, whomever this is who wants to talk to her. This is somebody who's noticed her that she has not noticed at all. And she's none too keen on them coming toward her. They might like her fiery, like, dismissal, though, if that's what it's going to turn into. They may actually think that, they may even think of her kind of like a bit of a wolf, or a bit of a, ferocious, not saying she's a dog, but, once upon a time, I will say this, once upon a time, some of my family members had this cat, and Tarna was a bitch. And for whatever reason, my little brother was like, I like that cat. That cat's a bitch. If anything ever happens, I'll take that cat for you. And sure enough, they had a baby, and the baby was allergic to cats. And my brother became the owner of this bitch cat that I don't know. He just loved this horrible attitude that this cat had. He just thought it was hilarious. And the cat was like super dismissive of him. Didn't care. He adored that cat. And all I can say is sometimes somebody's seemingly ferociousness is like freaking adorable. And that's how she's coming across. There's this beauty to her. There's a kind of a loner's energy, a little bit of sass. And for some reason, he can't get enough of that. I don't know if he just digs the sassiness, or if he's just like, yeah, I like that. But it's kind of cute. It's kind of funny. And that's what it makes me think of, is for some reason, he just gets it. It is not a turn off to him. We got an 8 of Cups again. She may tell him no a multitude of times, and he may have a habit of trying to talk to her during times when she is getting home late from work. He sees her in the moonlight. He sees her, in the early morning. He annoys. He could see her at all inopportune moments where it's like, no, I'm busy. I'm in a hurry. I'm leaving. No, I just got home and I'm changing clothes and I'm leaving again. There's something here about seeing her in the moonlight, seeing her in the daytime, seeing her when the last thing she wants is to be chatted up. I don't know. He's definitely seen the real her. She is not sugarcoating anything. We have the 2 of Pentacles. And once again, he's seeing her when she is, this is weird. I was going to say when she's really busy, still trying to decide what to do about things like finances. But all of a sudden it made me think of like a car problem or a flat tire, or she's going to try to have to figure out some other, maybe a car is going to the shop. How is she going to get to work? He may actually be there. And by the way, it could be on a day when it's about to rain because we got storm skies here. There's something here about okay, crap, now what am I going to do? I feel like she's in one of those boats where, you get a leak over here and you put your hand over it, and then a leak over here pops up and you put your hand over that, and then another one behind you. And it's like, okay, I don't know. This is like whack-a-mole. How am I supposed to deal with all of these problems that keep coming in when I was already just trying to get on top of finances and juggling so much? She's in a constant state of juggling. We've seen her with the 2 of Pentacles twice. I can see why she does not have time for anybody who's going to waste her time. She does not care to deal with somebody, especially if she's dealing with transportation issues, needing to be in 2 places at once. How am I going to handle this wild schedule that I've got? Got an Ace of Cups in the reverse, and we've got the 10 of Swords in the reverse. It's interesting because it might be a bit of a meltdown moment for her. He may come to her aid during a time where she's like, I literally have nobody to call. I literally have nobody. But I think she's been kind of ignoring the fact that there is somebody. I think that this is one of those times where, we push people away because we're used to not having anybody. And that's what she's been doing. She's pushing people away. She's used to having nobody to rely on. She's not expecting that, that she would be able to count on somebody, especially a stranger and somebody who's kind of expressing interest. And she's so not interested in romance or love at this point. But I think hitting some kind of okay, I can only juggle so much. How am I supposed to do 2 layers of juggling? How am I supposed to have more problems on top of the problems I've already got and only me to work on these things? And I kind of think she hits a moment where it's like, it's too many swords in the back. It's too many painful endings. And it's just kind of like a crescendo day. I think that is coming or has already happened for her. She just this just sucks. This just sucks. That's the rock bottom day, and that's where things start to get better. I always say we got to hit rock bottom sometimes because that's where our feet find solid ground. That's where you find purchase. We got the Wheel of Fortune. There it is. There's the turn of better days, and there's the Lovers. I almost think she would have continued to tell this person to leave her alone. She didn't need anybody. She doesn't want anybody until she hits this point where she actually does need some help. She actually could catch a break. She actually would like to have a break. Maybe she almost needed to be able to say that to the universe. Like, I'm not saying that the universe is like, say uncle, but there's a little bit of that where it's like, maybe the reason she's been kind of juggling so much for so long on her own is because she kind of hardened her heart and she only had herself to rely on, and then kind of got like, F everybody. I don't trust anybody, and nobody's been there for me. And the universe is kind of like, hey, now you gotta change that mindset. Tell me that you don't really believe that. Tell me that you want something so then I can send it in to you, because I can't force stuff on you. You got to be open to it. There's been somebody trying to catch your attention, but you're ignoring it. You got to tell me that you want something so then I can deliver it to you. This is like, when we're sitting at home hungry and hangry and mad, the pizza delivery people don't sense our hunger. They might be saying, we'd love to make pizzas, we'd love to have customers, but you have to call us before we can deliver your pizza. That's kind of like the universe. I can't just force somebody on you. In fact, I kind of already tried and it didn't really work. But if you tell me that you would like someone, then maybe it'll be more apparent that either they're already there or that I can send someone to you, and then you'll be more open to it. But you have to hit that point where you say you actually want it, where you're sick of having nobody to rely on, where you'd like somebody. And then, all right, ring, ring. That's like you just called up the pizza guy and you placed your order. And the universe is like, hot damn, here we go. Yes, we will send you your pizza man. I kind of think for this storyline, she had to like run the gauntlet of, I can do it alone. I don't need anybody. I don't want anybody. God, this is getting rougher. Now there's somebody bugging me. Leave me alone. I'm fine. And then shit, everything just fell apart. My God, can I seriously not get any help? You know what? I'd love to have somebody. The truth of it is, it sucks to be bitter or this isn't working. Yeah, I would love to have somebody. If there was somebody good out there, yes, I'd love to have somebody good. It almost feels like she had to go through that whole process, which is basically a big old cycle, which is what the world, or excuse me, the Wheel of Fortune is, right? We go through the entire cycle of, it was good, then it got bad, then it got worse, and it got horrible. And then I slowly came back around full circle. And now I'm ready to actually maybe acknowledge that, yeah, I could use a friend. Now, in this case, it is, I'm not saying that her happiness has to be interwoven to love, but I'm saying we've certainly seen her not have time for love. Even if there was a great person there for her, she really had given up on it. And I think we can understand why, but we can also see her come full circle on this. Is there a final message just on this character who seems to be quite smitten by her and quite, drawn toward her? We have got the Nine of Wands in the reverse. We have the Chariot upright. And I love this because he comes to the rescue with his trusty huskies. So, dog lover like me, I'm going to be all over this. This is one of my favorite Chariot cards I've ever seen because they're so freaking happy. This is exactly what Aries looked like in the snow today, by the way. Oh my gosh, he got the zoomies in a neighbor's yard and it was snow everywhere. And I was like, I hope they weren't intending on taking a picture of their beautiful, pristine snow yard because my baby just destroyed it. Gosh, I hope that they're not mad at me. Anyway, I'll have to bake them cookies. But this comes across like, I gotta say, I think that this person is going to be really good for her. I'm sure she could be fine without anybody, but why be without anybody when this hunk with a couple of nice husky dogs would like to be of service? I mean, why turn down something wonderful? We have that Nine of Wands in the reverse. She's kind of softening even some of her hurt is kind of softening. This is the wounded warrior energy. We can only heal so much before maybe we need somebody else to help us a little bit. And I kind of think she needed somebody loyal, somebody good. It's not like he should have to like prove himself because other people did her wrong. So now he has to work 10 times harder than the person who hurt her before to make her believe again. But I'm just saying he seems to have already shown up as that kind of a person who's like pretty awesome and pretty consistent and pretty warm-hearted and pretty much like it's like he kind of gets her from just being a keen observer. My guess is, only emperors and empresses get to ride in chariots. So that means you've already been through the ringer yourself. He probably can recognize a kindred spirit, or he probably understands just what she's been going through for him to be able to be consistent and steady and appreciative of still what he sees in her. He sees somebody who's obviously not out to take anything from anybody. In fact, quite the reverse. She's been pushing everybody away. Barely even being very civil, not really having time, not asking anybody for help. So he already knows, well, you're not a taker. You're used to doing it all by yourself. That says a lot right there about what kind of person she is. And that could be why he's like, oh yeah, she's a fighter. I get that. But even a fighter needs, somebody to scoop them up and take them off the battlefield when they get wounded. And I kind of think that that's a little bit of what this vibe is coming off of him. He may be somebody who's been in battle before. He may have dealt with people with PTSD. He may have some knowledge about that. That could be something he's mastered in himself. There's something here about, like, I feel like he may be great with animals. He may work outdoors more, and that could have been part of his own healing path. There's a reason he's drawn to her, and there's a reason he already understands her. I would definitely say that about him. But I could definitely see this as somebody who's like accustomed to what it looks like. He can recognize the symptoms of somebody who's been through a lot, and is still just trying to take care of business on their own and not ask anybody for help. And that's definitely how she's come across. All right, I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you guys for hanging with me. It's really nice to see you today. I'm hoping everybody is doing really well. Please remember, these are my stories or fictional stories. So please do reach out for a counselor, a therapist, if you're going through a lot of struggles. I see some comments out there tonight, and I'm sending you lots of support, lots of love. But please do reach out to a counselor or a therapist, when you're struggling, you guys. Nice to see you guys. Hey, Violet. Hi, RS. Carrie Wilson. Tony Just Jen. Nikki O. Hi, Cody. Andrew. Hey, hey. Smoking Trees. Lulu. Hey, Luke. Oh, happy almost birthday. That's wonderful. Violet, you're cracking me up. Hey, Astro, good to see you. Blessed Star, hi, hi. Hi, Harley. Right back at you, hun. Oh, Alana, sweet dreams, honey. Hey, Roxanne. Travis, how are you? You're having pizza? Nice. Crystal Pixley, hey. Monkey Experiment, good to see you. AC, thanks for being here. Nice to catch you again today. Hi, Michelle. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Awesome. Thanks again, Slay Princess. Good night, everybody. See y'all tomorrow.